back to the channel. My name is Natalie, aka Willoughby's, and today I'm joined by
Dominic.
Dominic. Is here playing at the Disney Lorcana Challenge in Chicago. Tell everybody what you accomplished today.
I got top 8 at the Chicago Lorcana Challenge. I lost the Mickey Mouse, unfortunately, but it just is how it is. So.
But placing top 8 is a super impressive finish. Congratulations again on that. Before we get into the deck profile, do you want to tell anybody any shout-outs you have?
Yeah, so shout out to everyone that came to the tournament with me, all my friends. So it was Steven Silverman, Scott Page, Nick and Alex Blandon, my friend Rob, Jesse Samick, Chaz, my friend Daniel, who he came and he did not have a ticket, which is unfortunate, so he went home, but he helped us test, which helped me a lot. And then shout out everyone else I test with, and then shout out all my Yu-Gi-Oh players and some of my best friends that are always in my corner on the whole Not Sorry Discord. Those are all my mans. And also like to shout out my dad for putting up with my dog at home when I travel.
Awesome, that's really cool. All right, great. So let's go ahead and get into the deck profile. Go ahead and tell us what you're playing and why you're playing it.
I played 4 Diablos. I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. Same thing with Robin Hood. Like, this is the best shift.
I don't think I would.
These are the 2 best shifts, and then this is the worst shift. So I only played three Pegasus, and then that's also reflected in my Floodborn ratio. That actual shift I only play 3 of as well. So I played 11 1-drops. Then for the 2-drops, I played 4 of the 2-drop Ursula. This card is just really good, and it helps play around grab your swords and be prepared. And then in the mirror or against Amber Seal or stuff like that, you can rip the removal spells early as well. And then when you go first against the blue decks, something that we learned we could do was if you have the 1-drop Diablo in your hand before you mulligan, and then you have both of these, right? You'd actually just keep all 3, saying that you had the Diablo shift or whatever. But if you had these, you wouldn't just mulligan this other 2-drop. You'd actually just keep both. And why that is against the blue decks is because if you're on the play, you're going first, and you go Diablo, and then you see 1-jump ahead in their hand, then you could play this turn 2 instead of Bucky to get the 1-jump and have them stay a turn behind, because the longer you keep Flavor Sham off the board, the better chance you have of winning. And then Bucky's kind of heart and soul of the deck. The decks that their actual card quality is better than yours, the blue decks, etc. Purple red as well. Their actual features the later in the game you get are just better than yours, outside of Beast and Robin Hood. And so you just use this throughout the mid game to just take away all their cards, so they can never get to the point where they're actually playing the good cards. And then he just has wards, so he floats around and is just a nuisance the whole game. Makes the Strength of Raging Fire better too. This card is insane. If this card rides, you really can't lose. It didn't ride for me super often, but anytime it does, it's really just game. Even if you go play the 1-drop, then you play Bucky, then you shift this, the Bucky gets the card back. So this technically costs 3 cards, right? So the Bucky rips a card back, so now you're at 2 cards, and this also draws a card before it dies. So now they have to play a card to remove it. So when in combination with Bucky, it's impossible for this card to actually go net minus. It's always neutral. It's neutral or positive, which is just outrageous. And it being a Floodborn and a 3-drop, you just play it hard a lot of the time. And if you're on the play, it's still insane. If you have this hard, and you have the 2-drop Ursula against blue, and you're able to rip the 1-jump, then this is on the board before Flavor Sham can even get played. So now if they can't afford to they usually cannot afford to just play Flavor Sham Reckless into you like while you have a Diablo tapped, because now they're just giving you 2 cards as well, which like negates like the whole point. So I played 4 of the 3-drop Ursula. I felt like this card was how you won going second in the mirror a lot of the time. Is you would like in my mulligans, like whenever I knew I was playing the mirror, I'd keep this card, and I'd keep like Let the Storm Rage on as well, or like Strength, and like this card being able to trade multiple bodies off the board, especially like being able to deal with Diablo and another threat when in the mirror you guys are both on really low cards, is just like super important. Also against blue, like this being able to sing Strength is normally like you're out to like early Flavor Shams. So and then also against blue, like with Bucky, after they resolve 1 Flavor Sham, you might not be able to get like all the cards in their hand. You can only get some amount, and like the last card in the hand is always going to be like Flavor Sham or an item for Flavor Sham. And so like we also play like the 4 sudden chills, so that like in combination with Ursula, I rip 2 more cards out of their hand. So just picture like I played Bucky on turn 2, then I played Ursula turn 3, then turn 4 I like play Floodborn and sudden chill. Like I just ripped 3 cards out of their hand. And then like if for some reason like you had 2 of this guy with like another spell in your hand, then you could like if he was the Floodborn you played, you could just shift on top of him again anyway, like by pitching a spell, and that gets all 4 cards out of their hand, like which is just crazy. Like being able to attack the hand is probably not something that should exist. So like that, I mean, I guess like this kind of gets in my spell lineup. Like these are the ones I played for Ursula. This is by far like the best card in the mirror. And like being able to replace the card while killing like pretty much anything is insane. This card is slightly worse. That's just because it doesn't replace itself, and you need to already have a board. So it just makes it a terrible top deck. And in the green deck, you end up like in like top deck mode a lot.
Yeah.
So I just like had to play less with these. And then the other spells we played, like for the Diablo ships, we played 3 Bruno. Cards are pretty good against blue, and then like when you get into the really simplified game states in the mirror where like they'll play like a beast with no cards, or like Robin Hood like no cards, like you're just like okay, like and it's just actual dealt with. It's also like the only way this they could really deal with Hamatoa or another like out to Flavor Sham in the late game, like after you rip their hand. And I played 2 Grab Your Swords for the mirror. I am not sure if I would actually play this again, because Grab Your Swords is pretty terrible against anything other than the mirror, I feel like. It's just like going second. Ursula kind of fixed the problem of trying to find a win condition going second, but like Grab Your Swords gives you like an alternate win condition where either you can get to 5 ink and just play Grab Your Swords and it deals with like all their Buckies and everything, or like if you go like play a 1-drop like the Pegasus or the Robin Hood that could shift, then like play Bucky or like whatever 2-drop, then on turn 3 you could like evolve or shift, then like Bucky would trigger, rip a card, and like Grab Your Swords cleaned off their board, and then you're just able to win like through card advantage from there. It's like those are all the spells I played. And the rest of the Floodborns, played 4 Aladdin, which is more than most people played. I trimmed the Pegasus to 3, like I said before, the 1-drop and the 3-drop instead of playing 4. And I didn't play Jafar because I felt like on the play against the blue decks, you want to be attacking like 1 jump ahead, or if they start with multiple popsicles or anything like that, you need to be like slowly eating them away. So being able to play this guy and Bucky rip a card, and like still be able to clear out items, he overperformed. And his stat lines get around Brawl, which is a big thing, right? Like if you go like Diablo, 1-drop Diablo, like see a card in their hand, then play Bucky, like you don't want to just throw your 3-drop Diablo like into the fire when you see Brawl. Like I'd rather play this, like get a card, and now like this is another card they have to deal with, like, and he's a 3-drop that could sing my songs. Then yeah, the big Floodborn just played 4 Beast, 4 Robin Hood, and 3 Pegasus. This is by far the worst one. The only reason you play it is because there's nothing really better, and you can shift it on top of the 1-drop Pegasus to kill Diablo. So like that's like it's where its evasiveness comes in. But also like again, when you get to the terrible game states where like they have Tinkerbell or whatever, you can't really be questing like these because those just start chipping you down and then taking away all your board. So being able to have like an evasive guy that can just quest for 2 every turn is not the worst for sure. Robin Hood is just saying like I don't think there's really a need to explain to him. And Beast, although he can't be shifted, is by far the Floodborn with the most upside, like when you get to his curve. I did not play Tinkerbell because Tinkerbell I feel like is only good in the mirror. And like I said, the mirror you both end up on like no cards pretty quickly, and Tinkerbell just costs 6. I feel like you don't normally get to 6 ink in the mirror. You normally only have like 5, unless you're winning already. And if you're winning already, you like via the grab your sword stuff, or you just took all their cards away, or like Ursula blew up their board, then you don't need Tinkerbell to win the top of that. And then last cards were Hidden Cove. Wish you could play more, but you can't afford to really see multiples, which is unfortunate. And it is inkable, but again, like the deck gets into top deck mode like pretty often. It ends up on 0 cards. You don't want to have multiples of these literally ever. Having this is a card that you want to mull for with your Diablo combo against red-blue, because if you play the 1-drop Diablo, then turn 2 you shift, and then you play Hidden Cove, and you stick the Diablo in the Cove, now it has 3 attack, it can't get brawled. So now like their next out for it is Medusa, which is so far away that whenever they Medusa it doesn't matter anymore. And then in the mirror also, like when you play Hidden Cove, now your guy can't die to put the Storm Rage on, and your Diablo is value trading their Diablo if they tap it. So Hidden Cove, it was actually a really good card. And that was my deck.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Congratulations again on such a successful placement here. You guys can make sure to check out Luxury Games and Lore Chronicles on all of our socials. We'll see you next time.